I had to suppress a laugh at you just adding on 20 seconds, not 20 minutes, right? I'm like, oh, good. Thank you for clarifying, FG. I was going to wait the 7 minutes.
I mean, I really? I've worked with people who would have maybe waited till 20 past. I don't know. Being ADHD and having like jumping thoughts from here to there, I sometimes tend to over-explain things because my brain just jumps around so much that if I don't explain what I'm currently talking about and why I'm talking about it, it feels like people won't be able to follow me because I've already skipped like 5 steps ahead in my brain.
It doesn't hurt to clarify.
Also, to be fair, like actually doing the whole clarification thing is really good for streaming because yeah, otherwise chat's like, hey, what is going on right now? Why are you talking about this?
Oh yeah.
God.
Oh boy, yeah.
But
I guess that is classic like streamer brain that you're just constantly self-narrating whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
and then you forget why you were talking about it in the first place.
Yeah.
Streamer brain.
It's also really hard if you do like a really long stream and then you're by yourself, you like step out of the room, you're done with your stream, you go into like, say for example, the kitchen and you're by yourself. I have sometimes caught myself still talking about what I'm doing and then it's like, no, you're done. It's fine. We're good. Like,
really?
Oh yeah, I've done that before.
That's so bizarre.
So funny. I don't do that.
Done that.
Editor's note, blind here. I literally never stopped doing that.
No, I've definitely done that before. Like,
I'm just happy that I can be quiet. I just don't want to talk anymore.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't.
For me, like, I'm always, I feel like people get the impression a lot of the time that I'm just very outwardly extroverted and excited to talk all the time, whereas most of the time I'm just happy to not be talking. I enjoy talking with people and stuff, but I don't find myself talking to myself or to other people any more than is necessary.
Yeah, so
yeah, I feel that.
I'm also more introverted than extroverted, like in a social setting. But like, I have this ADHD thing of like info dumping where like if there's a thing that I'm really enjoying, I can just talk about it for hours and never shut up. So those two things kind of sometimes like override each other, I guess you could say. And then even though I don't tend to like, I don't need to be in the limelight. Like I'd say like, for example, as like a party and there's like, I don't know, say 10 people sitting around the table, just, you know, drinking beer, talking. I don't need to be that person that's in the limelight. I tend to more sit and listen. But sometimes I can be the person that just talks. I think, but like my person and the way I am on stream definitely kind of also like gives the wrong impression though, because I just talk so much on stream that I never shut up. And I'm also not loud. For the people that say I'm loud, I just know how to project my voice so I can be loud without hurting my voice. I just had to clarify that.
This was something we were talking about the other day on stream about how, from a, I guess, a professional standpoint, your voice is a tool. Or if you're looking at it from the perspective of a singer, it's an instrument, and you really need to be looking at it from the perspective of how do I get this to work properly without breaking it. And, you know, I think we can all think of streamers that have injured their voice in some way by doing something or another, or just, you know, streaming for really, really long times without taking care of their voice, and it can do a lot of damage. So it is definitely important to be projecting from the, you know, the right areas of your body and looking after it.
100%. Like, I think having done a lot of singing has really helped with that, because I never really had that problem where my voice hurt. My voice will like hurt. Like, my voice hurt when I did like 24-hour streams. That's like when my voice started to like, where my throat started to get sore.
That's not a surprise.
But like, you know, like an 8-hour stream is like no problem. Like, I can talk more after an 8-hour stream, right? Like, that's fine. I just can keep going. But that's because of singing and doing like voice exercises and that sort of stuff. You know, I have that training. Even if I don't actively sing in a choir anymore, it's still like, it's like stuff you don't really forget because you like internalize it so much. Just how to breathe and talk and project from your diaphragm. It just kind of, and it translates really well into streaming and how to like use your voice. And we all know, like when we started, we were all kind of like, you know, a little bit more like even tone, a little bit flatter, and now we know how to like use our voice to like do the thing, right, where you go like, because it's, yeah, as you said, it's a tool, right? So yeah, it's an art form where we have to like, that we have to learn and practice, and we all get better at it, and then we look at our old streams and feel very embarrassed.
It's good content.
Always,
yeah.
It's always an adventure going back and watching old
clips. I still owe my chat a watch of my, it's not my very first stream, but it's like stream number 2, and I have a recording of it. From like 10 years ago. It's legitimately 10 years ago. I might actually just do amazing. That on the 10-year anniversary. It's so bad, but it's gonna be glorious regardless.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, and you know,
you'll see how much you've got, how far you've
come.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's gonna be a bit more sweary than normal, but.
Did you start off as a sweary person? Absolutely. Really?
Yeah. I was even like later on. I was still, but then I did more like. I did a whole couple like I did quite a lot of content with Kiri and like other like safer work streamers, and then I kind of stopped doing it.
It's my fault.
It's your fault. Yeah, blame Kiri. But no, oh my god, I had like
I can live with
like very filthy mouth. Like not like saying like really hurtful words, but like, you know, like the occasional fuck and that sort of stuff. Definitely, occasionally slipped out.
I definitely don't swear as much as I used to when I first started streaming. I think I've gradually over time learnt to kind of even it out and use it more effectively rather than as punctuation, which is definitely, as an Australian, more my natural inclination. Like I will, outside of any kind of professional setting, I swear a lot.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how that's the environment that I've grown up in, and how I've been raised, and just the the people that I'm surrounded by, and just what's been internalized within me. So it's a little bit weird kind of looking in and looking from the outside in at that, I guess, disconnect in terms of how I talk in that respect, but I think it's totally understandable that we kind of go through that evolution.
I think so too, yeah. Just because like nobody likes it, but it's just also like there are some brands who do kind of just prefer, and they will just flat out not work with you if you swear on stream or like excessively swear, right?
100%. Definitely.
Right. So yeah.
And I mean, as well, like you've also got a widespread global viewer base, and at least for me, one of the things that I would like to do is try to make my content as accessible as possible. And whilst I don't want to necessarily have people that would be inherently massively offended by crude language, I don't also want to drive away people that are somewhat on the fence and take that away from them as well, because that's a big part of a potential audience as well. And it's not something that is intrinsically necessary for what I would consider to be my entertainment factor.
Exactly.
To exist.
But you know what is necessary for good content?
Yeah.
It's the Halcyon Frequency podcast. And I'm here again hosting. What the heck? It's like the second time in like 3 weeks. What's going on? This is weird. Like, I think we've kicked out Blind and Arch a little bit, and everybody else has taken over, but that's okay. But yeah, no, this is episode 61, recording on the 17th of March. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Obviously, you're going to hear this on the 19th, but it is indeed St. Patrick's Day today. Don't worry, We're not getting drunk, and there's nothing green about this episode either. But I'm here, FG, and with me are Kiri and Drongo. Lovely to have you. How are you doing today, Kiri?
Well, I'm a little bit tired. It's fairly early here, and I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but I'm just excited to finally be on episode with both FG and Kiri for the first time ever.
Yeah, hasn't it?
It's been so long in the making. We've never
Yeah, it's
finally.
Gosh, like we've been trying like basically since the start, and it just never kind of happened. I think you two were on an episode, but I've never actually been on an episode with. No, I think I've been with you on.
No, I don't think so.
Or
I haven't been on an episode with Drongo before.
I have been purposefully ducking both.
Okay,
of you.
yeah. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, honestly.
Rude.
I know.
Drongo exposed. Now we know. You know what? First it's all that self-promotion business, and now this. I swear, like Drongo, what? Why did we even get you on this team? I swear.
Self-promotion? Did I miss something?
Oh, so there is an ongoing beef between part-time Triggered and I, where there's an ongoing joke that I just go to his stream to self-promote, and he started tweeting at me about it as well. So whenever I go to his channel, I'll get his partner Salberry to link my Patreon in his chat. She's a moderator there. It's all a joke. It's not malicious or anything. And he also tweeted me the other day, and after I liked his comment, and one of his tweets, and he said, "Oh no, Drongo's liked my tweet. I bet he's going to self-promote now." And then I was like, "I would never do that." And then I tweeted again after that saying, "Oh, actually, while we're talking on Twitter, people should follow me on Twitter. I'm closing in on 1,000 followers on Twitter. Go and follow me."
It's so brilliant. I love it.
I love it.
It's so entertaining. It's well done.
It's great.
It's so good.
I like the artificial drama. It's all in good fun.
Yeah, exactly. Just there's nothing like
That's important.
malicious or anything like that going on. It's all in good fun. Nobody's getting hurt or anything like that. It's just all pretend and hilarity. No, it's been really fun, like watching this thing grow and blossom. Let's say it that way.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
There's some actors who have like this fake rivalry as well. Is it Matt Damon and somebody?
Do they?
I'd never heard of this before. Okay.
Is it Conan maybe? I'm not sure. Like there are certain pairs who also have this, and it's all fun, and they make content out of it. I think it was Matt Damon, maybe Conan as well. I don't know, but it's funny.
Nice.
I think it's fun to have little rivalries and little kind of ongoing kind of competition and razzing each other up. I think it's just a good way to kind of energize content and energize audience bases as well.
Yep.
To make people feel like they're included in a joke and included in the bit sort of thing. I think it can be a nice
just
thing.
making a story out of stuff as well. It's it's definitely
100%.
I don't do this with like somebody else, but like like my whole birthday party thing is just spreading everywhere now. It's like I swear I literally will get people that come into the chat, and their first time chatter message is, "Oh, hey, happy birthday, FG." I swear.
It's become such a phenomenon in our little corner of Twitch.
Has.
Like it comes up at least a couple of times a week where somebody will mention some ridiculous out of the way, and then it'll just get segued into, "Oh, by the way, FG's birthday." And it's just like, this is just taken on a life of its
great.
own.
I love it. It's like, I mean, obviously I hate it, but I also love it, right? No, I don't hate it. It's also all in good fun, right? But like stuff like that, right? It's like it's just like it helps to fester. That's not the word. Foster. That's what I'm looking for.
Yep.
We don't want to fester the community. We want to foster the community. Excuse me. It's late. I've been working now for 14 and a half hours. I mean, I had a break, but still, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, happens. I got up at 6 and then I did stuff here and there. I mean, I've not been like diligently working, but it's fine. I know that like when I sign up for these long, like late Friday podcasting sessions, I'm aware.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's going to be a long day.
I ended stream early, so that helped. And I had some chill time in between a little bit. But yeah, the weekend starts after this.
Very nice.
And that's going to be my segue of talking about games. Just right after this very brief break, we'll be back with all of our talk about games. But what we are, you're actually drunk or Irish?
No.
Okay, explain that.
I want to say I'm actually a zebra right now because I'm wearing a zebra onesie, so I'm definitely not green.
Okay, fair enough.
I just thought that the world should know that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no, of
continue.
course. No. There will be.
I think it's also bold of you to assume that I'm not drunk, FG. Like
True. On
It's
that
7 in
note,
the morning.
I actually
the day
realized.
after St. Patrick's Day, Kiri.
Yeah.
I
I actually talking about getting drunk. Not that we're gonna get drunk, but I realized it's gonna happen this year. Did you realize?
You're gonna get drunk?
No, but it's gonna happen. The
What?
IRL Drongo FG Shui is going to happen this
Oh
year.
my god.
I know.
I have been waiting so long for this, FG. You have, well, I mean, you do have some idea, but oh my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about this the other day with my chat, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm going to Las Vegas. Drongo's going to Las Vegas. Oh my god, it's actually going to happen.
And since we're the same person, FG, you can just do the shoey and I'll just stand back and watch. Perfect.
I don't think that counts.
That totally counts. I never committed to a shoey, so I'm
That's
safe.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
I'm not going
I
to
was
say
gonna
that
say,
you would
how
do
did
it.
Kiri
No.
get wrangled into this?
No.
I didn't.
No. I just don't think it's going to count for you that you've done one. But you're not going to be forced to do one. No, that would be horrible.
You will have witnessed a shoey, and
True.
for most people,
Yes.
that's enough.
I'll take that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so cool. That was totally a talk about games, but that's fine because I was going to...
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's fine. It happens all the time on this podcast. I mean, honestly. When do we ever actually stay on track? This is fine. No, I was going to ask because it is the weekend. We are not drunk, but we are, and that's what I was going to say is we are, well, at least one of us is hyped AF because it is
So
Diablo 4 closed beta. Kiri, give us all of the details. Do it. Go for it.
Okay, it went better than expected because I've played all the Diablo games. I grew up with Diablo 1. And I remember very vividly the release of Diablo 3 and nobody could play it. And we were just waiting there for hours in the queue with the error 37. Hilarious. So I didn't actually expect to play today, but I already did.
Nice.
So PS5 apparently could immediately start the game at, the point of release. So that was 5 p.m. Central European time. PC players had to wait a bit. I don't know, just like 5 minutes or so. Then I punched the play button and I had no queue. Absolutely
Nice.
no queue.
Wow.
I watched the intro cinematic again, which is just the old one that was already released a couple months ago. And it's gorgeous. I created a character and there's actual character creation and it's amazing. It's not the best, but you have female male character. You can change the skin tone and there's several skin tones, the hairstyle, the makeup, facial hair. Tattoos, they look awesome. That's it for the character creation. So I did that. I jumped into the game. There was a new cinematic then, and I played about 5 minutes in the prologue, and then I had a network error.
Oh no.
But I was watching a streamer on the side, and everybody had errors. Everybody got kicked out again, at least in Europe. And then I had a queue of like almost 80 minutes, I think.
Oh no.
So then I continued with work. But after that, I got back into the game and I played some more. and it's gorgeous. The music is great. The sound effects are amazing. There are accessibility settings, so you can turn off screen shake.
Yay.
You can turn off distortion effects,
Nice.
flashing when you hit something. There is text-to-speech and a screen reader, color
that's
blindness
awesome.
modes. There's so much. It's really good. The only issue that I
that's
have is that... Sorry?
Oh, I was just saying that's great that they have so many
yeah, it is.
accessibility options.
Absolutely. It's so good. And in the beta already, that's giving me hope. The only issue is that when you're in the dialogue with an NPC, the camera just zooms in a bit and moves to that NPC. And then it zooms out again, and then you ask the next question and it zooms in again. It's so unnecessary.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And the camera is stuck to the character, which is great. But then there's kind of a Z level, and sometimes you go up and down ramps, or you take one step up to get into a house. And the ramps are fine, but when it's just a step, then the camera just jumps up and down because the character goes over that one step. That's not ideal. It's not horrible, but it's not ideal.
Yeah, gotcha.
Other than that, I'm playing the mage. It's really fun. The skill tree, there's an actual skill tree now. It works differently than the previous one. All of it looks a bit like more retro, more like Diablo 1, but also it's so much a controller interface. Like everything is very accessible should you play with a controller, and it does have cross-platform with console players as well. It's MMO-y, and I like it. Like you can just meet the people in town when you run around, kill things. They kill things, stuff drops for you, you just go over there and pick it up. It's really nice. It's slower, much slower than Diablo 3. And I don't know, I just love it. I love
sounds
it.
good.
And then I had another network error and I got kicked out again. But then the queue was only 25 minutes or so, and now I'm back in the game, but I'm not playing right now, but I'm in the game. So,
You're idling
overall,
around so you don't get kicked again. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, the beta is working much better than expected. And it's absolutely gorgeous, and I love it. I'm so hyped. I fought one boss already, and mechanics actually, that there are mechanics, and it's not just, left click, left click, left click, left click. You can also dodge. There's a dodge button now. You actually have to dodge attacks.
That's cool. Yeah, I like that.
It's great. It's really nice. It's not just a brain dead, just click on it. It feels more mechanically and more like an MMO. But it's still gonna be lots of grinding and stuff. But yeah,
Of course, yeah.
super cool.
Nice.
I don't think I've ever played a Diablo game.
All right.
I'm missing out apparently.
See,
I mean, if
like,
you ask me, yes. If you ask me,
no, so my problem is, like, I love, like, the description sounds amazing. And I really want to play, but, like, the ARPG grind just does not vibe with me. I love the get bigger numbers to get bigger loot to get bigger numbers. But, I don't like it in, like, in an ARPG where you just have to do the same things over and over and over again, which is weird because I do it in MMOs and there I really enjoy it, but for some reason in an ARPG there's just something about it that I don't enjoy. And I've tried so many. I've tried Diablo, I've played Grim Dawn, I've played PoE. It just doesn't vibe with me, even though, like, it sounds amazing and the game looks amazing because I've watched some streamers as well play, but, like, even watching a stream of it only captures me for a few minutes, and then it's just, I actually really wish I would enjoy them, because it seems like a really fun game to also play just with a group.
oh yes, so much better with a group.
Yeah, it's just not. Does the current beta actually have multiplayer? Like, could you try it right now in multiplayer, or is that not in?
Yeah, no, you can, because people run around in the same world.
Okay.
And you can just group up.
So you can actually, like, also form, like, a group to play together, or is it just playing together in the world?
I mean, I haven't formed a group, but I'm pretty sure you can. Yes.
Okay. Cool. That's good. Nice.
I like the grind and doing things again. I think it's somewhat meditative. It's just really nice, and then
Yeah.
especially with a group, and then one person gets it, the other doesn't, but you then run again because everybody needs to have it, and it's so much fun for me. I can't really explain it.
Yeah, I
like
don't
it.
know why. I love it in MMOs. Like, oh, let's run the same mythic dungeon in WoW. Not that I've played WoW recently because there was some expansions I didn't like. But like, let's run the same mythic dungeon 5 times in a row to get the things that we need. But
Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't know what it is about ARPGs. That just, it doesn't click with me, which really sucks because it sounds really, really fun.
Yeah. It is,
But
and
yeah.
it's gorgeous. And Diablo 4 has mounts now too. I don't have it yet because I need to
Ooh.
follow the campaign and do some more quests for it. But there's mounts, and then there's an attack when you dismount, and that's specific to your
that's
class. So
fun.
everybody has a different attack. Then they've really added so much to the game that wasn't there in previous Diablos.
Nice. Will you
Really
try
excited.
the open beta next week, Drongo?
Yes.
Or not?
Oh, sorry.
I mean, you will, but yes. I figured you would.
Sorry.
No, all good. All good. You heard it here first.
I wasn't
Kiri.
planning on it. Mentally, I've already committed to picking up Albion Online this week and next week.
Of course.
And so my brain is like, okay, you're going into a new game that's in that kind of RPG, MMO space. You only have so much bandwidth for that. You can only dedicate so much brain power. I am tempted to pick up Diablo, but the thing that's always put me off of games in that genre, like PoE and stuff like that, is I just find them very daunting as somebody who's not played any of the previous games before. I don't really know what to expect in a lot of respects. So I don't plan on it, but you
Ask
know
me
what?
questions. I
Maybe.
can answer.
I'm not going to say no because I may yet be convinced. I'll keep on listening to the Kiri propaganda and see how it goes.
Yes, do that. I can also recommend Diablo 3. It's still good. I've been playing that too.
That is noted.
Okay, let's move on. Apparently, I'm standing alone here with my hype, but that's okay.
No, that's fine. I'm super excited for the people that are excited about the game. Like in general, like it must be nice because I mean it's been 10 years,
Yes,
9 years.
I've been waiting for 10 years. Yeah.
Right, so it's been a long time. So I remember
That is a lot.
Diablo was actually one of like those big, like one of the very first big game launches as well that I was on Twitch for. So like I didn't participate in it, but I saw it and like the whole, you know, everybody trying to get in and just not working and error 37, error 37 and all that sort of stuff. So yeah,
Yes.
it's been crazy.
Good times.
Okay, so from Diablo and hell to a different kind of hell. Talk to me about either of the zombie games on your list, Drongo.
Sure, why not? I was slightly concerned where you're going there with that segue for a brief moment, but you pulled it off beautifully, FG. Well done.
My segues are the worst, but cool. Go on.
So I've been continuing to play Project Zomboid this week on stream. I am totally enamored by that game. It just keeps on getting better and better the more I play it. And I've had a chance now to do some multiplayer with Sim, and it's just the game has just so much potential, and I'm just having so much fun with it. I've started learning a new map, which is reputedly one of the hardest map on hardest starting map on vanilla Project Zomboid, and it has been very, very punishing, but it has also been really, really fun, and I think it's been really great content, and I'm very, very glad that I finally caved and gave it a go. So killing lots of zombies there, but I've also been killing lots of zombies in 7 Days to Die, and that was on the list just because I wanted to do it, just a little quiet, humble brag that I finally managed to 100% 7 Days to Die after a very, very long time.
GG.
I'm so glad that I
GG.
got it ticked off because I've been working on that for so long.
I need
It always feels
to,
good when you finish something.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I need to kill a few more players. Our deathmatch actually ended up like counting. It just took the game like 2 hours to register it for me.
Right? Yeah.
That
I
was
think
really
after
odd.
our little deathmatch scenario. So for context, FG, Part-Time Triggered, and Salberry and myself all did a 7 Days to Die co-op stream together, which was a lot of fun. And it did at the end devolve into just PvP for achievements. And I think that ended with me needing 2 more kills, which I wrangled some of my mods into providing me
Nice.
at a later date to get that one ticked off.
Yeah, I'll have
Okay.
to do that with Lex at some point. Just load in and then just repeatedly stab him and then get that hopefully as well. But nice, lots and lots of zombie games then. But yeah, no, both the zombie games have been around for a really long time as well. Like both from like 2013. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
Tell us about the last spell, FG.
oh wow, okay, yeah, we'll just jump into that. That works. So yeah, the last spell is a game that came out in full release last week after entering early access back in 2021. So it was out in early access for about 1.5 years, a little bit more, like 1 year, 9 months or something like that. And it is a pixel art, turn-based, base defense, wave survival, please don't shoot me, roguelite. Basically there's magic in the world. The magic has corrupted everything because people have just been going super ham and they've been basically building like weapons of mass destruction, but out of magic. So suddenly, all of this magic that's just like spread in the world condenses into this fog of like horribleness, of like evil purple death, and reanimates all the humans and twists them into the creatures. And the only way to defeat it is to cast the last spell ever. But to cast the last spell ever, so they've changed this a little bit since early access. The story was then different. To cast the last spell, you have to break the 4 seals on the 4 different maps, which means you have to hold out long enough for a group of mages to break the seal open. And the further you go along, the longer it takes per map. So the first map is, I want to say 6 nights, 7 nights. Then the next map is like over 10 nights, and then so on and so forth. Like it takes longer. The enemies get harder, but because it's roguelite, there's a lot of meta progression. Every night you get currency to spend after surviving on meta progression as well. And then there's a different type of meta progression where you have to do certain quests like recruit 20 heroes over all playthroughs and, you know, just things like that. Survive X amount of nights on this map and that sort of stuff. And it's got gorgeous pixel art. The combat is really fun. It has a banging music if you're into like sort of metal music. Yeah, it's not my music either, but like I can recognize
I
that
remember
it's
turning it off because
Yeah.
I couldn't stand it.
like it's good music. Like I know it's like good music. It's not my favorite type of music,
Yeah,
but it's like
yeah, I
good
guess.
music, right? Like it has a really good soundtrack and it's just super satisfying to play, and it's just really, really, really fun. And I jumped back into it with a full release. As I said, like some stuff has changed. They did a lot of balancing. They changed the story a little bit. Because before in early access, the story was something like they would, you would try to, like you would protect the town, and they would actually try to cast the last spell, and then they would actually, like, even though you survived for like X amount of nights, like the nights you were supposed to survive, they cast the last spell and it failed, so you would try again somewhere else. So they changed the story around a little bit, and it's really, really fun still. I streamed it for several days. Not quite as like popular on Twitch as it was during its early access release. Like it really was one of those games that had its heyday on Twitch when it first came out, and everybody like jumped into it. It was really, really fun to play. It's still really fun to play. I really highly recommend it. I probably won't stream it again just because there isn't that much interest in watching it, but it's really, really good. It's really fun, and I recommend it if you like turn-based, survival, meta progression, wave defense, base defense, wave defense, like all of that sort of stuff. Is really, really fun. Really recommend it. It's a good
Cool.
game.
Nice.
I remember I enjoyed it in early access. I really liked it.
It's really good, and
Do
it's
you
got
like
lots
the
of
changes
achievements.
then?
Yeah, actually, the story feels more cohesive this way, and like progressing onwards actually feels like worthy because you're progressing with unlocking the seals and that sort of stuff. I'm still only on the second map because I only streamed it 2 times, I want to say. So I haven't progressed that far into it, but it's still fun. It's still really satisfying when you've got these big mobs and you have your ballistas up and you have them upgraded and they shoot twice at the start of the night, like each turn, and they just go pew pew pew, and then like 8 monsters die and that sort of stuff. It's really fun. No, it's a great game. I highly recommend it to anybody who likes turn-based, wave-based survival. It's like basically like turn-based. They are billions with meta progression. If you want to boil it down to like some like like just to a couple of words in a way, it's really good still. Definitely recommend it.
Awesome.
Picking it up, and lots of achievements to get, which is also important, right?
Yeah.
100%.
On that note of hunting achievements, how's the achievement hunting going in Frostpunk, Kiri?
Oh yeah, really, really well. So I never finished the base game, and that's why I'm back to Frostpunk now because I didn't really want to play anything else. And so I finished the first scenario, even though it looked absolutely horrible because I was hunting for achievements, so I had to accept all the refugees. And I did, and I thought I couldn't finish, but I did. I lost like 200 people or so, but that's fine.
Oh my god!
It's a
Acceptable
resource.
losses.
Yeah,
It's okay. I just accepted them first. It was all good. Yeah, no, it's great. I've played several more scenarios, and I'm just making them harder because I'm also hunting for like 5 different achievements at the same time.
Of course, yeah.
But it's super fun. I'm enjoying this so much. I love Frostpunk. It's one of my favorite games, if not the favorite, the most favorite game.
Nice.
It's very cool. People like to watch it too because it's just so many people know it, and if they haven't played it themselves, then they at least were on the fence about it. And due to the decisions that you can make, because maybe I should explain what Frostpunk is in case people don't know it. So it's a survival city builder in a post-apocalyptic world where the big cold came, a storm. So the world is getting colder and colder, and you're one of the last settlements, really, on Earth, and you have to survive. And you, as the captain of that group, have to probably come to very morally questionable decisions. And I think that's so hilarious. I think it's really funny, and Dark Kiri is really enjoying that. So child labor, I don't know, radical treatments, sawdust in food so that you can stretch it and you have more, just to name a few. So it's really, it can get people down, definitely. I think it's just very funny, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So yeah, I'm going to do more achievement hunting next week.
Nice.
I love how your go-to way of summarizing the dark options in Frostpunk is hilarious, because I was like fully expecting you to be like, the options, I just find them really compelling or interesting or something like that, but it's like, no, full Dark Kiri, it's hilarious.
It is, though.
Send the children into the coal mines.
It's just so much fun to be able to do that in a video game. Because obviously, if stuff like that happens IRL, it's horrible and it's atrocious. But in a game, you'll have the freedom to just do that. And it's going to make the game easier for you too. Because you have, more workforce.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what? This sounds really mean in a way, but sometimes I'm glad that you can't play like certain 3D games, because God, you would just hunt down everybody sometimes. I think.
Yes, I would. And I would love doing so the whole time.
Yeah, you would. I think so too. Nice. I just recently grabbed the last DLC that I was missing because I actually played the scenario, but I only got I streamed it, but I only got a temporary access to the scenario, and then they cut me off again. They did that with one of the DLCs. I think, was it last autumn? I want to say it was the last autumn. They did that for some reason with a whole bunch, for a whole bunch of streamers. So I just recently grabbed that last DLC because I need to replay it and get achievements as well. I only have 30.
I need to check if they took that away from me.
Yeah, I want to say it was that one. Which one? Yeah, I think so. It was one of the they took one away. Yeah, I want to say it was the last autumn, maybe.
All right.
Or maybe On the Edge. I don't know. It was one of the ones, and they just took it away.
Yeah,
But
okay.
yeah,
I have that.
yeah, you can get them for really cheap right now because it's
yeah.
spring sale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So are you gonna play again?
Yeah, I want to play again. I don't think I'll stream it. Maybe. I mean, maybe I would do, but yeah, no, I'll definitely want to play again and get get some more achievements if possible.
Mm-hmm.
I've been meaning to go back and play Frostpunk again, but it's been, I think, about 5 years since I last played it. I haven't played any of the DLCs or anything. But it was I think it was the third game I ever streamed on Twitch.
Ooh.
Way back in the day.
Oh yeah, wow.
And I did love it. I did love it. I think it was an excellent game.
Yep.
It's so good. And the music. I love the music so much.
The music is great. Yeah, definitely.
I frequently put it on when I have to work because it's my perfect focus music.
Nice.
Just so good.
That's awesome.
I don't know why, but I always imagined you working listening to Christmas carols year round.
That's too distracting because I tend to sing along and then I can't focus. So I need something without lyrics to focus. But I do listen to Christmas music year round, just not for work.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So my
got the right
mental
impression.
image of Kiri on a day-to-day life has not been completely shattered. It's just been slightly altered.
It's just when she does
Good.
chores or cooks in the kitchen or bakes in the kitchen. That's Christmas carols.
Yep.
Maybe. I don't know. I just assume.
No, it is. Not all the time, but yeah.
Sometimes.
It's happy
Nice.
music.
Cool. And that's awesome. Okay, so I have a really funny story for this next game.
It.
But I want to hear your funny stories first, Drongo, because I heard some funny things about you playing Nitro Stream Racing. So I want to hear your stories first.
You heard funny stories about me playing a game? That's always ominous, honestly.
Nothing bad. Nothing bad. Just that you had lots of fun.
Notes.
Yeah.
I did have a lot of fun with it. So Nitro Stream Racing is the latest release from Captain TV. And they are the team behind games like Stream Raiders. They've recently brought in Marbles on Stream into the fray. And basically they are focused around games that directly integrate with audiences on Twitch and allow their game functionality to allow the audience to participate. That's the whole kind of ethos that they have in approaching their games. And so their latest offering, Nitro Stream Racing, is, as the name would suggest, a racing game similar to Marbles on Stream, where you have a race from point A to point B on various tracks, where the people racing are the audience members, but instead of marbles, this time it's cars. And it's a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. I played a lot of Marbles on Stream because I really enjoy shoutcasting, and it's a good opportunity to kind of flex those vocal muscles with a bit of shoutcasting. And I also am a big fan of IRL motorsport as well, and so this kind of merges those two Venn diagrams and overlaps nicely, where motorsport and shoutcasting races, and it's a nice little niche for me, and I had a great time with it, and it's in beta at the moment. It's still got a ways to go, but probably the biggest thing that they've kind of innovated on is the ability to have some kind of real progression and ability to customize your cars, so your audience members can be even more involved and even more invested when those events come up. So I'm looking forward to integrate that into my stream as a replacement for Marbles on Stream, just because I think there's going to be more interest in that, and for the people that do want to come in and do it on a regular basis, they're going to be more invested that way as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it's great.
Yeah, so I played it as well. I also did I think you were also sponsored to play it, right? Because I did a sponsored segment for it. And we also had a lot of fun. Like same as you, actually. I really enjoyed doing the whole shoutcasting thing, casting the races and that sort of stuff, trying to unlock. So we were doing mostly like chat versus bots, because that's how you can unlock more tracks. Unfortunately for me, that mostly bugged out, so we didn't really unlock any new tracks. But
oh, really?
Yeah, apparently they fixed it later on, but I only had so much time, so we raced mostly one map. But I also really enjoyed it. It's more involved, as you said, exactly like than Marbles, especially because you can also cast power-ups as the viewer, right? You can cast your megas, and so you can do like Banana Storm and lightning strikes and all that sort of stuff. And so my funny story is, as I talked about earlier, chat is often convinced that it is my birthday. So we have somebody, I shall not name them, who made a Twitch account called It's FG's Birthday, and they entered the race with said Twitch username, and they were like, well, see, FG, we have to make a wager, right? And I'm like, okay. I mean, we had like lots of cars, and we had like, I don't know, 50 people, 55 bots, so like well over 100, right? And I was like, all right, what's the wager? All right, FG, if FG's birthday wins, you have to do a baking stream. Lo and behold, it's FG's birthday actually won the race.
No way.
It was like super close. It was dramatic.
Rigged.
In the last 20 seconds, FG's birthday just drove like super cleanly and just made it through the last of the diggers and just won. And it was hilarious. It was
That's
just
so rigged.
super rigged, absolutely hilarious. And then later on, we had another race, and said account entered again. And chat was like, oh, we should make another wager. And I was just like, no, no, I've learned my lesson. And lo and behold, It's FG's Birthday was actually the only account that day in my stream to win a race twice. So FG's Birthday won again. So according to chat, I will now have to bake 2 birthday cakes during a stream at some point in time.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like there's some clips. I tweeted about them, and full disclosure, as I said, like I played it because I also got sponsored to play it, but I really had a good time with it, and I will also like implement that into my stream, like, just some here and there for just just some fun races here and there. It's just really fun. I don't know, when you like, maybe when I do a bigger giveaway or something, just to do that, because it doesn't really take long. Like, what does it take? Like maybe 90 seconds to do a race or something like that. It's really fast, and
That's quick.
yeah,
It's pretty low commitment. I think the biggest thing that's holding me back at the moment is the lack of being able to kind of have a point system, because what I used to do with Marbles was have, I think it was like usually 5 races, and then the person who won the 5 races would kind of crown the champion.
Yeah.
And that would usually take up a slot of like 15 to 20 minutes. And I'd have that on a channel points redemption. And I'd kind of like to do something similar. So hopefully they add scoreboards and things like that later on. I understand that they're coming.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I totally want a championship. So like a, you know, like Marbles does it, like 3 or 5 or 7 races back to back.
Yeah.
And then like add up all the points and that sort of stuff, and then crown the winner. That would be amazing. But yeah, no, I also had a lot of fun with it. It was, yeah. Well, I know I chat about baking stream at some point in time.
What cake are you gonna bake?
Well, it has to be a birthday type thing, so I don't know. I need to check and look and decide on what I'm gonna do, I suppose.
Yeah, but
You can have any type of cake for a birthday, can't you?
Yeah, but I don't know.
I made a birthday lasagna for mystery once.
That is a
It's
great
not
idea.
the stereotypical cake, but I mean, it's a birthday lasagna. It still counts.
If you
With
can put
candles and
candles in it,
everything.
it counts.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, but I like cake. I would prefer cake, I think. I mean, don't
No,
get me
that's
wrong,
fair. I was just
lasagna is
saying that,
great,
you know,
but
it's-
yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay.
On the
True.
topic of a lasagna, though, the picture that you put in Discord the other day, Kiri, oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah,
How dare you?
it was so good. That was so delicious.
Yeah, we had. I was okay with it because we had pasta bake yesterday and today because leftovers. So I was
yeah.
okay because I was like, basically, I had the same thing, right? So I was like, okay, your pictures have no power over me today because I have the same food, and I didn't even cook it because Lex made it, so that makes it
That's
even
okay.
better. Yeah.
I actually like it though, because cooking really helps with my mental health. I love cooking,
I hate cooking.
and when I have time to cook, then it's so much better.
I
Yeah,
My
that helped this
neighbor
week.
has just started mowing the lawn at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. How dare?
Oh my
What is
god.
this?
That is.
So I apologize for any background noise.
We can't hear it
No,
right
we
now,
can't.
so
That's good.
yeah. That is wow. Your neighbor chose violence this morning. Very much
Yeah,
so.
I know, right?
That is oof. Oof. That is something else. Well, I don't have a good segue to this one, so I'm just gonna jump on in. The last game on my list, Sunhaven. Oh my god. I love it. It's so good. So Sunhaven is a life sim like Harvest Moon, Rune Factory, Stardew Valley. And a week ago, it came out in 1.0. So this game is no longer early access. It wasn't early access in 2021, but I held off. I was like, this looks really cool. The art is really awesome. It's a pixel art life sim. It looks really, really cool. It looks really, really fun. But I don't want to play this in early access. I want to play it all. And it came out on the 10th. And on Tuesday, I was playing a game, and I kind of realized, this is very early. It's not quite there yet. Like, I'm talking about Potion Tycoon. Like, there was some good improvement from like the demo to the early access version that I now played, but it's still it's just slow and it's a slog, and I'm like bored. Let's play something else. So I had chat vote, and chat was like, let's check out Sunhaven, and oh my god, it's amazing. So it's a life sim. It's got magic. You can be human or an angel or a demon or a cat person or an elf, and there's more stuff. I'm forgetting something. Can have like lots of different backgrounds. You can be a farmer background, and each race and each background comes with like its own buffs and like starting gear. So a farmer has obviously seeds, and then the rancher has like starts with animals, and then the mage starts with like spells unlocked and that sort of stuff. And yeah, so it's a life sim with like, it has like trains and stuff, so it has like modern things, but as I said, also magic, and there's dragons, and it's amazing. I love it. It's so good. Like, if you want like a Stardew Valley type fix, but you don't want to play Stardew Valley, get Sunhaven. Apparently there are some bugs. I've had like 2 tiny minor bugs, and I've played like 18 hours of it now or something like that. And I'm not, so you can make your days really long in the game. You can make a day be 40 minutes. So I'm not even through spring. And it's just amazing. I love it. It's so great. Minor spoilers. There's like several areas. You unlock several towns. You can have several farms. I just unlocked the second town and farm, and it's just, there's so much to do. and so many things to grow and so many things to fish, and there's a museum and there's achievements. It's amazing. It's so good. I love it.
So you said it's a life sim, and you said farming. Is it then like, are you mainly a farmer, or what's the goal in the game? What do you have to do?
So the goal for you is to save the town.
Okay.
You don't have to farm, because there's also like a mine and that sort of stuff, and I said there's ranching and all that sort of stuff. But they do it really cleverly, so you don't have energy in the game like in Stardew. You still fall over at like late at night, so you can't stay out all night. You fall over, but you don't have any energy. There's no stamina, so you could just do a bajillion things, right? And the day is 40 minutes long, so you can do a lot. And the way you do it is the way they incentivize farming, obviously to make money, but the way you increase your stats, so each thing has like XP, and you get, you level up different skills. So there's farming, there is magic, there's farming, there's combat, there's fishing, mining, all sorts of things like that. And then you get XP for each thing you do in those, and then you can level those skills up, and you pick like things, I don't know, like for example, make the barn, the fishing mini game bigger, or like when the first fish you catch in a day, however much it's worth, you just get that gold automatically into your pocket, like just additionally, and all that sort of stuff, like lots of different things. But then the way you increase your health and your mana recovery rate and your health recovery rate and your attack damage and that sort of stuff is through eating things and drinking drinks. So you're in a way incentivized to cook and make things and farm to be able to cook all the dishes that will, make you stronger. But you don't have to. So it's I don't know, they're so open. You can do.
I like that.
Yeah, I really like it. It's so fun. And yeah, I've not really yet felt super duper pressure to like struggle and like make a lot of money, like in Stardew, where you start off like super duper struggling. Like you very early on unlock something called elven grape seeds, and they take 1 day to mature. The only thing is you have to spend mana on them to make them actually be able to grow, and then you can make a stupid amount of money with them. So it's like, it's not really like, it's just really chill and fun, and it's great. I love it. And chat loves it as well. Like I've streamed it now 2 full days, and then on Tuesday I did 2 hours of it. And it's so good. I love it. It's fun.
That sounds so good.
It is really good.
I'll check it out.
Some people have said, like on if you read the Steam reviews, that they have had some severe bugs, but so far, knock on wood, I haven't had any severe bugs. Apparently the biggest is like right now, if you want to get married, don't propose the day before a festival, because otherwise your marriage like never happens apparently. So that sounds pretty problematic, but I haven't had any other issues. Like I had like one thing, there were some plants that weren't watered in the morning even though it was raining. Like it's like, that's not a big deal, right? Like whatever, I'll just spend 2 seconds watering the plants. But besides that, I'm really enjoying it. It's like, it's kind of almost feels like I'm discovering like Stardew for the first time and like really sinking into that. It's just, but it's not. It's different, and most people haven't seen it, so they're also really engaged because it's very different, and the pixel art is just glorious.
I've seen it, yeah.
I'm looking at pictures of it at the moment, and it definitely does have that same visual style as Stardew Valley, but if you kind of put it through the lens of a more of a JRPG sort of style, and it does look very, very pretty, I've got to say.
It's
but
really
obviously
pretty.
The gameplay is substantially different. It looks good.
Yeah, I mean, you still do your same thing. Like you have to water your things, and there's fishing, and you have fishing nets, and sort of fishing pots and all that sort of stuff. Like you've got the staples, right? And like the whole relationship thing, giving gifts and that sort of stuff. But I don't know. And you know what? That's what's also really, really cool. I know you don't have that anymore, but this is like something that really put me off of Stardew Valley when it first came out, where you had that time pressure. Because you had that whole time pressure with Grandpa coming back and judging you. And you just don't have that in this game. I just don't feel pressure at all. It's just I can do whatever I want. Or I can push the main story. Or, you know what, no, I'm just going to go into the mine today and just mine and grab resources and go deeper in the mine and get the treasure chests there and that sort of stuff. And yeah, so people complain that the movement speed is a bit slow, but you get skills that make you faster, and you get mounts as well that will make you faster as well. So it's not really a problem. Yeah, and I've
Makes
been
sense that it's starting slow then.
Yeah, I'm just really enjoying it, and it's got Steam achievements as well, loads of them. If you want to achievement hunt, so far
I think you can stop now. You've already sold me on it, actually.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
It's just, all of that sounds great.
It also has multiplayer. The only problem is with the multiplayer that it has, you don't share quests and you don't share boss fights, so it's a bit in that regard. Like you can do the
play.
Yeah, like you can do the boss fight.
I mean.
Yeah, it's so you can do the boss fight together, but you'll each fight your own boss fight, and it's like kind of layered on top of each other. It's not great. I wouldn't probably recommend playing it in multiplayer. But then, like, Stardew for me is also not really a multiplayer game per se. Anyways, sorry, I don't know.
Yeah.
I it's just really chill.
What I've noticed is that you mentioned fishing several times
Mm-hmm.
and Stardew, but you haven't complained about the fishing yet in Sunhaven.
No, no, that's true. But the fishing is different. So, it's a time thing in the game. So you have like, you have a bar, and on that bar, your bobber basically moves like up and down, like on a set pace, depending on the rarity of the fish. The pace is faster or slower. And then you have a bar. Basically, you just have to remember the haggling game in Potion Craft. It's like that. You have to time it right and click the button. It's like that.
I see.
But the bars are pretty wide, and there's a yellow section, a green section on the bar, and basically you just get more XP if you hit the green section. It's pretty. I like it. It's fun. It's not as like. It's not like the fishing in Stardew. Let's say it that way. But it's still challenging in a way, but it feels rewarding because you because of the skills that you get later on. It still it feels really fun, and there's lots of different fishies, and there's different areas, as I said, each with their own fish and crops, seasonal fish and seasonal crops, and then nighttime fishies and rain day fishies and that sort of stuff. And there's a lot to do in that game. So yeah, cool. That's Sunhaven. It's a little bit hidden because, and I think this was kind of it's they hurt themselves with it. They didn't give any streamers any keys. They're not on any of the key sites at all. Like they just didn't do any streamer / YouTuber promotion at all.
Yeah, wow.
And that really kind of hurt them in a way. Like this game, I think, could be so much more wildly known than it is. Like so many people come into my chat and they're like, I've never heard of this. And then they stick around and they come back next day and they're like, yeah, so I bought this game yesterday and I played it for 14 hours.
Wow.
Like that was legit something that somebody said, right? And it's like, yeah, I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit with that. But yeah, I really like it.
If it wasn't for you mentioning it now, I don't think this would have ever come on my radar.
Yeah,
It was on my radar, but I
don't know how I saw it. Maybe Wholesome Games. Maybe it was on the Wholesome Games Twitter at some point, I want to say, maybe. But no, it's great. It's so nice to have like a live sim that's finished now. I mean, okay, it's almost finished. The epilogue apparently is not in, but like you can play through the entire story. Like it's done and you can go do stuff, and it has a lot of meat on the bones. As I said, I've played 17 hours now, and I'm still in spring. Sorry. Yeah, I'll be a Sunhaven only streamer for a little bit, I think, for now, because I've just been really loving it. Like it's one of those games where I'm sitting here, I'm like, I could really play this off stream now too. But obviously I'm not going to, but I could.
That's always a good sign though, when you're onto a game and you're just like, you got that little itch in the back of your mind, just like, oh, but what if I play just a couple of hours now? Just makes the the enthusiasm for the game when you do stream it that much more.
Yeah,
so we'll
absolutely.
check back with you in a couple of months after your foray into having your life consumed by this.
Sounds good. I mean, it's kind of, there's also not too much coming out right now anyways, so it's a good time to jump into this now, I think. I mean, we've got stuff at the end of the month, right? Like there's like Terra Nil coming out and that sort of stuff, but there's not really much in between now and then, so it's nice to have something to like sink your teeth into now.
Absolutely.
All right, I think that actually concludes the game section of today's episode. So we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back with the news. Welcome back to episode 61 of the Halcyon Frequency podcast. I'm still FG and with me is still Drongo and Kiri. And we've got some pretty big news to talk about today that are kind of like related to us, because Emmett Shear, the CEO, well, the former CEO now of Twitch, is leaving the company after 16 years. That is a very, very, very long time. He's stepping back. He's apparently not leaving completely. According to the TechCrunch article that we'll be linking, he's going to stay on as an advisory role, but 16 years in a company, that's a very, very long time. I can't really blame him for leaving after that long. Like that's a very long time.
It is, and also he said that he has a son, a young one. I don't know how young, but he said that he wants to focus on his family now, and now's the right time.
Yeah, no,
I get it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. I'm a bit surprised that so many people are surprised that he's leaving, because he said like a while ago that he was gonna go. But so it's the era of Emmett Shear is over. And he has been with the company, as we said, like right from the get-go. He's one of the, if not the last one of the old guard kind of leaving.
He's the last one.
Yeah,
he's the last
he's
one.
The last.
Yeah. And yeah, that's a very long time. It's crazy to think about that though. That it has that well, ultimately Justin TV, then Twitch has been around for that long. And taken over. I think that's the actual bigger controversy talking point right now is no longer current Twitch president, now CEO, Dan Clancy, who was the person who wrote that letter about the revenue split changing, for example, last year. And there's also a very famous quote out there in the wild of streamer, was it Jake and Bake, I want to say, right? Having a meeting with at the time Twitch president. Yeah. And like I quote Jake and Bake here directly, saying, "I don't feel confident as a streamer on the platform with someone who is that out of touch after meeting with the president at the last TwitchCon." So yeah, that is kind of spooky. That is spooky if you think about it. That person is in charge now. But I've heard other conflicting things from former employees like Aurelian. They've tweeted that yes, he is a little bit out of touch, but he's got like sort of his heart in the right place. So, and he's very much apparently for transparency. So maybe that's better. I don't know. Like, I don't think anything is going to change for us with this change. Really, like, we're too small a fish to like have like, I don't know, this having a very meaningful change on us. But obviously a shakeup is always a shakeup, so I don't know. We could see something really big, but I doubt it ultimately.
Yeah, we gotta wait and see, but I wouldn't, create any drama around this now.
Yeah, 100%. I can't see this really having any substantial impacts. I think that realistically, when you look at how a lot of these things work at a corporate and especially at a CEO and executive level, you're often going to have, as long as it's not a very sudden departure, you're going to have a period of transferring, and they've been working together for quite some time. I forget exactly when Dan started with Twitch, but it's definitely not recently. So they're already in an alignment in the direction of where Twitch is going, and I cannot see them really moving in any kind of drastic direction, at least not in the coming couple of years, I would say.
Yeah, same.
And I think it's a little bit misleading as well a lot of the time when people as individual streamers talk about maybe feeling like people who are in executive or CEO levels in a large corporation being out of touch with what is on the ground level. I think it's important to remember within that context as well that we as streamers realistically are out of touch with the realities of what it takes to run that corporation and the actual mechanical things that go into the day-to-day functioning of it. So I'm always a little bit with a pinch of salt whenever somebody says, oh, I feel like they're out of touch, because it's not always the case. There's often, I would say, a disconnect in the available information on both sides of the table, but I don't think it's always a case of this person is ignorant to what's going on and doesn't understand it. They just have different perspectives and probably different priorities as well, given, one person is motivated by themselves wanting to be a successful streamer and creating cool content, and the other person's job is to make a business, make money. So there's different end goals as well.
Yeah, we'll have to just kind of wait and see. As I said, like Emmett Shear had said this before, so for me this wasn't like a big shock, but maybe like it just flew under a lot of people's radar that he was going to leave. So yeah, we'll see how this all kind of shapes up and where the platform will be in another, I don't know, 2, 3 or 5 years from now on. As interesting times, but as usual, I suppose.
Yeah, business as usual until otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how we'll operate here. We don't have much news. The other big title really, and it's kind of a talking point that we thought we would bring up is Nintendo basically is releasing the newest Zelda game, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, with a $70 price point. And we're just linking this article here from Video Games Chronicle, where they're just basically saying we think this price point is justified. And I kind of picked this article like as a news story to cover, or we picked it as a news story to cover because it is a conversation that we kind of want to have about games increasing their price across the board. Same with the Diablo 4 that we were just talking about earlier, and just kind of having a discussion about the price increase, which has been actually like happening to console games for quite a while, just hasn't really shown up on PC/Steam that much yet, but with the new with Diablo 4 will also now show up there, of course. If any of you have like an opinion on this or something that they want to say, please feel free.
I do. Yeah, life is getting more expensive, right? Everything's just more expensive. Energy prices go up. I I think it just makes sense that video games are also more expensive now. I absolutely do not see a problem with it. I think it's interesting that Nintendo says that the price tag is justified by with the experience that you get from the game. I would also expect that's true because it's going to be a Zelda game and everybody's going to love it. It's probably... I've watched the trailer. It looks gorgeous. And I agree, because if you count that down to how much you math that down, I actually don't know the English words for this, but I want to say if you think about how much you spend per hour that you play, especially games like Zelda or Diablo 4, you can get so many hours out of that, like 50, 100, Diablo, way more than that. It's not that expensive.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
For me, I justify games with, if it's like €1 or like one currency per hour, it's really cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me.
Same.
So
Yep, same.
yeah, Diablo, the standard edition, which is just the game, is €70 as well. I purchased the medium one, which was 90, and I know it's going to be fine because I'm going to play hundreds of hours, and then sure.
Yep.
It's okay.
Yep.
I think from my perspective, I agree with the sentiment that it makes sense for there to be price increases with inflation across most currencies being what it is these days. So I think it makes sense. I think the real thing that will probably put a lot of people offside, and I really don't feel great about it either, is the fact that a lot of very large companies, such as Nintendo, are still posting very strong profit margins and extremely, extremely well run in the way that they make sure that they're paying their staff as little as possible. And there is a bit of a habit within the industry for large companies to overwork their staff, especially around crunches and things like that, which is just not a particularly healthy thing. And I think I would feel a lot more okay with the idea of big game companies charging more for a game, but at the same time making sure that people that work for those companies are being properly remunerated for their work, where I don't know. I don't always feel confident that that's the case. Yeah, so I think it makes sense, but I'm also like, I wish it would be better. I think the one dangerous thing that Nintendo has done here is, instead of just saying, it's going to cost us more to make a game, we're going to charge more for it. At the end, I think the dangerous thing that they've taken, the dangerous avenue, is that, hey, our game is so good, it's going to be worth the extra price. And if there is anything wrong with it, that is going to blow up in their face. Like, if they nail it, it'll be fine. But if there is any major criticisms or issues with the launch, that could come back to bite them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree with you, like, on that note. Like, if we could make sure that the increase in price gets actually like transferred to like the developers and the people who, like, and the QA tester and everybody who actually works on it, and not just lines the pocket of like Mr. CEO, or like the shareholders, that would be really good. But yeah, I also agree with what Kiri said. Like, games are still, even games that are expensive as this, they are still, entertainment wise, for most of us, just a really good value. Because
just compared to going to the cinema, for example.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
movie tickets are so expensive, and you get 2 hours out of it, maybe 2.5. If it's a really long movie.
Yeah. And like,
absolutely.
Yeah, you can't maybe play it at that point on release, but you can always wait for a sale. And then, people might say, but Nintendo games don't go on sale. Well, they do, not the digital ones, but, actual, like, the hard copies. You can get those on sale or secondhand and save plenty of money on that. It's just, you just have to be a little bit patient and can't immediately play it. Which sucks, of course. Like, I understand wanting to play it, not getting spoiled or anything like that, but it's life is expensive at this point. We all need to tighten our belts a little bit here and there. So I think it's inevitable that this is going to happen. It's been games have been at the $60 price tag for so long, so long. It was inevitable at this point, at some point, for it to happen. Do I wish the money would go more to the developers? Yes, but that's why I mostly play indie games, because they're, the money goes to those people mostly. So I choose with my wallet that way. I won't buy big AAA title number 13 this year. I'd rather spend my money on an indie game experience that'll also last me for a while. Take Sunhaven. I've played it for 17 hours. I paid less than 17 pounds for it because it's on sale, and that already makes it a steal if you compare it to, as Kiri said, the cinema. Yeah, it's great value. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we just have to. It's unfortunate. It's the unfortunate reality, I think, that the prices have just now caught up, and that's how it is. And I don't see it changing anytime soon. Again, probably never.
Not changing to be cheaper, no, definitely not.
Yeah, at least not AAA games. Games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. We made it through. This was the first episode, not of the Halcyon Frequency podcast, but the first episode in this actual combination of people. We've been trying for so long to set this at the start before we actually start recording, but it has finally happened. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. To Kiri, Bloody Drongo. Drongo, where can people find you?
You can find me over on Twitch as Bloody Drongo, and you can find me on Twitter as @TheBloodyDrongo.
Awesome. And Kiri, where can we find you?
You can find me on 2dkiri.com, and then you can find me on all the platforms. Thank you, FG, for hosting. Where can people find you?
You did a great job.
I don't know, scuffed hosting number 3. One day I'll get good at this, but that's not today, but that's okay. No, people can find me also on the internet. I have everything on fgsquared.tv that has links to all of the things. It's still a work in progress, but there is a lot of stuff that you can watch on there and click on there and follow me everywhere. And this was the Halcyon Frequency podcast. Big thanks to Peter Paul and Paul Mile for the theme tune. And we will talk at you, I guess, again next week. This is Halcyon Frequency signing off. Don't change that dial.